Hey, happy Tuesday, you beautiful people, wherever you are on this phenomenal planet. It is Shift Your Thinking Tuesday with yours truly, Lisa P, Lisa Puerto, and thank you for joining me on episode number 36. That is huge. Shout out to the Instagram family. Ty, I see you on the Instagram. Drama Proof, I see you. Thank you for joining, where we transform our inner experience to a phenomenal experience, but 13 minutes of our time. And I am so excited about today's show because it is something that I never paid attention to. This is amazing. It's something I never paid attention to. And I'm calling this episode the ego. Listen to this. The ego in negotiation. Oh my goodness. The word ego is in the word negotiation. My. Did anyone notice that? Especially for me, I'm in business. The art of real estate is the art of negotiation. And I never realized that it's in the word. So we are continuing our series from Shift Your Thinking, authored by Dean Del Sesto, 200 Ways to Improve Your Life. And I'm excited about this. Make sure you tag someone, you share, you invite them to transform their inner experience to a phenomenal outer experience so that we can apply this to our lives in all practicality. It makes no sense if you join me and then you do nothing with it or you do nothing about it. Also, I welcome your feedback, your comments. Let's build together. This is not just for me, although it is kind of maybe unfair because I have too much fun doing this. I really do. And for those of you who are catching me on the replay, both on YouTube and the radio podcast, I thank you wholeheartedly. Love you and appreciate you. So here we go. I'm just doing some logistic stuff so that it looks really nice on the caption and on the screen. Episode number 36. Yep. And you guessed it. If there's 200 ways to improve our lives and we are on number 36, that means by the time I finish this segment or this show, we will have completed 200 shows sharing ways to improve our lives. All right. I'm pumped. Are you pumped? I'm pumped. Imagine I don't drink any coffee, you guys. This is just me, really. It's strange to some people. The author says most things are pretty much what you negotiate them to be. So it pays to negotiate well. It pays to negotiate well. It pays to negotiate well. It's no accident that the word ego resides in the word negotiation. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I've never noticed that. Nor is it any coincidence that ego and greed are close companions. Calling some tactics, some emotions, some folks out. He says, but negotiations of the ego and greed breed are no companions, no picnic, But negotiations of the ego and greed breed are no picnic. Any transaction that is driven, listen to this, by ego and the desire to win is a relational train wreck waiting to happen. And the collateral damage is always more than what is seen in the transaction. Truth be told, more negotiations have stopped midstream or have blown apart toward the end because someone was bent on squeezing every ounce from the transaction. Good place to stop? Yeah, let's park it right there and let's build real quick. Oh my goodness, especially you are going to laugh at the amount of synchronicities that I am having with every segment before I read into the chapter. It's amazing. Yesterday, I did have an opportunity to, I guess, present, pitch. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the work that I do through the nonprofit, it is to collaborate and really expose and share real estate literacy with the youth and young adults of our underserved communities. And it's so interesting that I am finding that, you know, there are gatekeepers that are in the way of me getting to the youth with this information. And I get it, right? It certainly disrupts the status quo. It certainly changes the mindset, shift your thinking. If I'm teaching children real estate before they graduate high school, and like I always pose, imagine where would you be or how different would your life be if you knew real estate literacy at 11, 12, 16, 18, even in your 20s, how different would your life be? So it was interesting because I was pitching to someone and they were really thrown aback by the fact that me, young gal, and was doing such a thing. And they had not heard of it. They weren't familiar with it. They didn't know how it works. And it's so funny. I did a post or repost where that said, humans don't like change. And this is change. Shift your thinking is change. It's a change of your mindset. And it was so funny because I was essentially negotiating, and depending on whether they can stomach their ego and let me in to really do something amazing with the youth, that lies in their hand. I can only present and pitch. But again, like the author is saying, if the ego is in the way, right? Because you have your own interests, you have your own personal agenda, and you're thinking about me, what can I get out of it? And not look at the win, right? Win for me, win for you, and win for the universe. That's how it works. It's a universal win. And oftentimes people feel like if the other party is gaining, then that means they're losing. And that's further from the truth. That's not true. There's definitely a way that everyone can win, but you've got to let go of ego, let go of self in that negotiation, in the art of negotiation. And there's so many books about it, right? There's so many videos about it because it is the art of communication. It is the art of communication. Let the tiny self be removed out of the art of communication. And see, it's so funny because we aren't taught how to properly communicate with one another. Notice that some people get emotionally charged when they feel they are communicating, and really that's not communicating. Sometimes you're just yelling, your voice is at a high pitch, and you feel like you're expressing yourself, but you're not. You're now emotionally charged, and the ego, the little you, is becoming a bigger you in that, right? Watch it. So we'll continue. Truth be told, more negotiations have stopped midstream or have blown apart toward the end because someone is bent on squeezing every ounce from the transactions. I wanted to reiterate that. Even if ego-driven deals go through, listen to this, ego-driven deals, they often cause an aftermath that precludes future opportunities due to relational division and bitterness. So guess what? Even when you think you win, because you were so bent off on getting your way, what is the likelihood that someone will want to do a deal with you again? Slim to nil. slim to nil, because I'll say this, I have personally have done that. I have personally done transactions or deals in various ways with people. When I saw that you were in it for yourself, I said, okay, I will let this one ride, but guess what? I will let this one ride, which means the likelihood of me doing business with you again is not going to happen. Right. Hey, Chris, thanks for joining. He says, hashtag stay woke. I appreciate you. And that's why we do shift your thinking. Exactly. So again, the ego in the word negotiation. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I honestly have not ever paid attention to this. So we are learning together. Chris says the greed will kill him in the end. That's right. It definitely will. And you get nowhere. Could you imagine you only cap yourself? You cap your own blessings when you're not operating from true currency. What is the true currency? I'll let you know at the end. True currency. Some of you may already know what the true currency is. The author continues, in short, the completion of ego-driven negotiations usually happen once, if it happens at all. Becoming a master of negotiation isn't rocket science. I agree. I agree. It isn't rocket science. For starters, think not of yourself, but the other side. Listen to that. It's not just about you. Again, art of communication. The art of negotiation is reducing the big you in the picture to a little you, so that you can get out of your own way to see what is the needs of the other person. And I'm speaking to myself here because I definitely love a great negotiation. I really do, because I like to fine tune my skills, because it is the art of communication. Am I able to communicate well? Great. Chris says he's getting so much better at it. That's awesome. Consider what they are looking for. So listen, if you've got a chance to write this down, and I'll highlight this when I finish, but I'm reading this out to you. So we're going to take some pointers here. Added value. I do added values. If you notice, I don't ever like to say, what was the takeaway? No, I don't want to take away anything. And that is something I've been using as the art of communication and the art of raising my vibration. There's just so many currencies happening here: negotiation, communication, and vibration and frequency. So listen up here. What are we looking for? Consider what they might fear. Their short and long-term goals, and when they want the negotiation completed. What are you looking for? What they don't want? Okay, so what are you looking for? What you don't want, what you might fear, what are your short-term and long-term goals, and when do you want it done? That's so awesome, because that's exactly what I do. Tell me what, tell me when, tell me what you don't want, tell me what you're afraid of might happen as a result. Oh, that's so good. And the short and long-term goals. And then he says, then with that understanding, begin the process of answering those same questions for yourself. Okay, then you get to ask and reflect, what is it that I want? What don't I want? What are my short and long-term goals? What am I afraid of, or what do I fear? And when do I expect to get this completed? Oh, I like this. Chris says, steel sharpens steel. He says, but you can't get sharp around butter knife people. I love that. Okay. See, my Instagram fam is up today. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. He said, stay woke. You can't get sharp around butter knife people. That's Chris Monroe's. I got to spell it out. I got to shout you out. That's so funny. I'll continue. The merger of those realities, listen to that, the merger of those realities and the depth of determining the win for both parties will clarify your options and purify what you're asking for. I talked about true currency. True currency. Only then will the presence you bring to the negotiating table and be received with trust and acceptance instead of guardedness and skepticism. It's a lot of words. Oh my gosh. So let me say that again. Only then will the presence you bring to the negotiating table be received with trust and acceptance instead of guardedness and skepticism. Whether negotiating your way out of a traffic ticket, getting a date for Friday night, persuading a friend to help you move, or closing a big business deal, negotiation is a constant. I said this. It is the art of communication. I appreciate you, Chris. Chris Monroe from St. Louis. There we go. And identifying win-wins in advance will always advance more win-wins and win-win-wins. I like to do the win-win-win, you, me, and the universe. So what is the true currency? And thank you for joining. If you just tuned in online, we are on episode number 36 of Shift Your Thinking Tuesdays, where we transform our inner experience to a phenomenal outer experience for 13 minutes of our day. We do it together so that we can elevate our lives. Chris has me cracking up here. He said, you can't sharpen yourself around butter knife people. So what is the ego? Did you notice that there was the word ego in negotiation? And ego charged negotiations will falter. It will falter. It will create bitterness, and it will reduce the likelihood that that person will want to do business with you again. So how do we improve that? I'm not going to recap it. Be sure you view the replay, because we talked about 4 to 5 points of how to properly communicate the art of negotiation. And I will answer the question, what is the true currency? What is the true currency in negotiation? Trust. The author mentioned it. Trust. I have to be able to trust that you will do what you say you will do, and that I will do what I will say, and that I say I will do. And I have to trust that you are going to trust me to do it. That is the true currency. Oh my goodness, you guys, this was so powerful. Thank you for joining Shift Your Thinking Tuesdays. Be sure to subscribe on the podcast. I do have this available on the radio podcast, and connect, build, and share with me at lasuperagent on all social media.